Hello friends, if anybody takes any loan, we know that it is being repaid with the help of monthly installment, and that monthly installment is called as EMI, Equated Monthly Installment. And do you know that we can create EMI calculator in Excel with the help of Pmt function, and it is not very difficult to create such kind of a EMI calculator. For example, here we need to just input the loan amount 20 lakhs, the tenure of the loan, that is 20 years, rate of the interest, and it will give us what is the monthly installment. We have to just change these three parameters and it will give us, suppose I change the interest rate to 10%, and it will give me how much is the monthly installment. Not only that, we can create a EMI calculator in such a way it will give us the bifurcation of our monthly installment. That means how much interest that we are paying and how much principal that we are paying, which is on monthly reducing balances. And once the tenure of the loan is completed, that is after 20 years, that means after 240 months, it will show us the zero balance for the further months. How to create EMI calculator with the help of Pmt function, that is the topic of the video today. This is going to be a very interesting video, so stay tuned till the end of this video. And if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. So before we go ahead and learn how to create EMI calculator, first of all we will learn the use of Pmt function in Excel. The objective of this video is not only to create a EMI calculator, because there are many EMI calculators available on the internet, but with the help of this we are going to learn what is the use of Pmt function, which can be used in some other areas as well. So here we are going to learn the Pmt function. We have taken the loan amount as 1 lakh, the term is 10 years, interest is 8%, and here we are going to use Pmt function to calculate yearly installment, and then semi-yearly installment, biannually installment, and then we'll calculate the monthly installment using Pmt function first. So here I will go ahead and use Pmt function. Pmt function itself is being used for calculating the payment of loan based upon the constant payments and constant interest rate. That is the use of Pmt function. So is equal to Pmt tab. What is it asking? It is asking the interest rate. The interest rate is 8%. So I already taken is in percent format. So 8%. Now we are calculating yearly, so it will I will take it as 8% only. I will not divide by anything else, because in a year there is just one installment. And then comma NPER, that means number of installments till the term of the year. So term of the year is 10 years and the installment is yearly, so the number of installment will become 10 comma present value. Present value is how much on this is a loan amount, basically present value. So loan amount is 1 lakh, and other things are not compulsory, mandatory, so I'll complete the formula here. What is the formula? Pmt, then I have taken this interest rate and comma term, that is 10. Why 10? Because there are only one installment in a year, that is because we are calculating yearly installments, and then the loan amount, and enter. So you can see here the answer that we are getting is in negative, so to make it positive I will put the negative sign before the formula, so minus Pmt and the rest of the formula. Now the installment for yearly installment, yearly EMI is 14,902 for the loan amount of 1 lakh. Now we will go ahead and calculate the same thing for semi-annual payment frequency. So Pmt is equal to Pmt, then rate of interest is 8%. Now in this semi-yearly or semi-annually payment, we will have two payments in a year, so we'll divide this by 2. 8% divided by 2 comma NPER, that is number of payments. Now the number of payments in a year, so I have created a new table for this. So for yearly the number of payments in a year is 1, for semi-yearly it is 2, So for a year it is 2 and number of years we have is 20, 10 years. So total becomes 20. So number of payments is 20, comma, present value is a loan amount. So this is how it is very simple to create a PMT formula. Only 3 things that we are going to put here and we'll complete the formula. As we have discussed earlier, it will give us a negative result, so I'll put a negative sign before the formula to make it as a positive. So for half yearly we have 7358 as an installment, half yearly installment for the loan amount of 1 lakh for 10 years with the interest rate of 8%. Go ahead and we'll calculate PMT, interest monthly installment for the loan amount. Interest rate is 8%. Now in year we have 12 installments because it is monthly payment, divided by 12, comma, NPER. Now how many installments are there in a year? 12 installments. And how many years that we have? 10 years. So total number of payments will become 120. NPER stands for number of payments, comma, present value is nothing but a loan amount, and then complete the formula. And again it is negative, so we'll make it as positive by putting a negative sign before the formula. So this is how we calculate the EMI, that is monthly installment, for 1 lakh of amount for 10 years for the interest of 8%. The EMI that is monthly installment is 1213. If I change it to 8.5 or 9%, it will change it. I will change it to 10%, and it becomes 1321, and the rest of the yearly and semi-yearly also changes. So this is how we use the PMT function to create the monthly installment, to get the monthly installment. Now we'll go ahead and learn how to create a EMI calculator by using the same PMT function. But here we are going to create a EMI calculator which will give us the result for all the 10 years or the tenure for 10 years, 20 years, whatever the tenure is. It should show us the monthly installment, as well as from that monthly installment how much is the interest that we are paying, how much is the principal that we are paying, and what is the remaining balance of the principal payment, because interest and principal keeps on changing every year. So in the initial year the interest is high from the monthly installment, principal is low, and gradually it increases, and once the tenure is completed the principal balance becomes 0 and installment is obviously 0. So that chart we are going to create with the help of PMT function. First of all, we'll go ahead and create the monthly installment the way we created earlier in this tab. So here I have already put the loan amount. For example, I have taken the years as a 10. Obviously the number of payments in a year is 12 because I am going to calculate only monthly. Interest rate I have taken as 11% for now. So for monthly payment is equal to PMT tab, interest rate is 11%. Now 11% divided by 12. 11% divided by 12 because it's a monthly installment, that is the reason we are putting as a 12, comma, NPR, number of payments throughout the tenure of the loan. So tenure of the loan is 10, number of payments in a year is 12. So we can do it like this. We can write here 120 directly, but I do not want to write 120 because these two parameters will keep on changing. So I will use these cells. So open bracket, 10 years into number of payments in a year 12, and then complete the bracket. So that becomes my number of payments, total number of payments during the tenure. So obviously it is 120, and then comma, and then present value is nothing but my loan amount. So that is it. I'm getting 20,451 as a EMI amount. Obviously I am going to make this as a positive, so put minus sign. So this is my EMI payment for this amount. If I change this, it will keep on changing. For example 10 lakhs, like that. But now I am going to create a chart here which will give me the bifurcation up to 10 years for this interest and principal and remaining principal balance as well. So we'll start with 0. I created the list that is 0 to almost 50-60 months. I created this list. I'll start with 0 month, the first. We are not started at the first. So the initial loan amount is 10 lakhs, which will come over here. So is equal to 10 lakhs. That means this particular cell. I will lock this cell because I want to copy this formula down. And then enter, and then I will put here a formula. Now monthly installment as we have calculated will be always like this, 13,364, and if it is changed, it will change here as well. So I can put the formula is equal to this cell and this cell. But if I do that, what will happen? Once the tenure, that is 120 months, are over, then also it will show me this this figure. Why? Because I am putting the formula is equal to, like here, is equal to this and this, because this will be same throughout the tenure of the monthly installment will be same, which we have already calculated. But I do not want to show that, because I want to show after 120 months it should show me 0. So for that I will use the if function. So is equal to if tab logical test. Now in if function, what I am going to use, if this, that means once it becomes 120, if I copy the formula down, and once it becomes 120, once the tenure is over, this cell becomes 120, is greater than this into this. That means the number of years and number of payments in a year, that is 12 into 10 in this case, or 12 into 10. So I will change this cell. I will take this cell, that is open bracket. If this B10 is greater than this cell, I will lock this cell because I want to copy the formula down, into this cell. Again I will lock this cell. Why I am doing this? Because this is number of years and this is number of payments in the years. So this number of years, the user may change it to 20 years, 15 years, like that. And then complete the logical test. Value if true. Now if this cell becomes equal to 120, automatically it should be changed to 0. That is the reason I put 0 over here. If this condition is true, that means if this cell, that is 120, and this cell, that is 120, becomes if it is greater than 120, then it should become 0. Else, that means if till it is not equal to 120 or more, greater than 120, it should give me this result only. So that is the reason I will again lock this cell. So the purpose of this if formula is that once this tenure is over, the below cells, the calculator should show me the 0 monthly installment, which is the right case. And then I will complete the formula. Obviously right now in the first year it is 1364, in second year also it will come as 1364 once we copy the formula down. Now next is interest. Now interest is calculated on the principal balance. Now for 0 years, when we are starting, the principal balance is 10 lakhs, which is equal to this cell. And that is the reason for 10 lakhs, how much is the monthly interest out of this 13,634. So we will calculate the monthly interest on this principal balance. So is equal to this. I will not lock this cell because I want to copy this down, and it interest is always on the reducing balance into the interest rate, that is this 11%. Right now in this case is 11%. Now I will lock this cell because I want to copy the formula down, and the Excel should pick up the value from this particular cell only. Now this will give me the yearly interest. This right now we have the principal balance as 1 lakh, but this is a yearly interest. We want to calculate the monthly interest on this 10 lakhs. So divided by 12. But for 12 I will use this cell, that is number of payments in a year, and lock this cell. You can use the 12 as a number as well. So this will give me the interest of 10 lakh principal amount for the interest rate of 11%. It gives me 8958. And what is the principal out of this 1364? Principal is 1364, that is this EMI minus this interest. This gives me the principal. What is the principal remaining balance? Is equal to this sale, which is we are starting with 10 lakhs, minus this principal amount. So first month I am paying the principal 4676. The remaining principal balance would be this much. Now look here again what we have done. We first calculated the monthly installment in this case by using the PMT formula, which we learned just now, PMT. And then we have created this table. In this table we have started with 0 month, that means we are starting with the same loan amount, so is equal to this cell. And then we have created a formula here, monthly installment, which ideally should equal to this, but we have used here if formula. Why we are using here if formula? Because once the tenure is over, after 120 months, it should show me 0, not this amount. And the interest we have calculated based upon this value, the first monthly interest based upon this interest rate, and then principal and the remaining balance after reducing this principal. Now if I copy this formula down, this principal amount will keep on reducing, and the interest rate will be calculated only on the remaining principal balance. That is called as a reducing balance. I will go ahead and copy this formula down, and let us see what happens. I will just go down till 120 or more, 120 or more, because there are 120 right now. I will go ahead and, because I want to change to 15 years then. So, and then Control D. If you see here, once 120 months are over, then it is showing me 0 as a monthly installment, 0 as an interest, 0 as a principal, and principal balance is also 0. What has happened here? It is giving me the correct values. The installment is same throughout the 120 months, because right now it is 120. My interest is keep on reducing every month. My principal amount out of this installment is increasing, because initial year, in initial phase, the interest amount is higher than the principal amount. Interest amount goes reducing, principal amount keeps on increasing, because I am contributing my EMI out of that larger principal amount. It goes to the principal amount higher in higher case once this number of months are increasing, and the remaining balance of the principal keeps on reducing, and this interest is always calculated on the remaining balance, that is reduced balance. So this is how the EMI calculator is being calculated. It is not very difficult if we know the if function and if we know the basic formula. And the additional formula that we have learned today is called as a PMT function. That is also not very difficult to learn. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you will be successful in creating the EMI calculator and learning and using the PMT function. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.